Greetings and salutations. Unfortunately for you, I am back. This one is more of a creative thing, the different kind of video. I haven't done one of these in a while. People tend to really like these kind of videos that I do, especially when I post them on social media, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so a concept from B2, which I think is a great concept, is the idea of a dungeon within a dungeon. That module is really good for even if you don't outright play it, you can come up with ideas that are inspired by it in a lot of ways. And one of the reasons why I like it is because there is the concept of a dungeon within a dungeon. And so far, this is my draft. I'm not done with it yet. Um, I did the outlines and stuff, and like I haven't stocked anything. I've just basically been dressing everything. Doors, stairs, archways, stalagmites, stalactites. There's a chasm right there. There's a pool of water right there. Some naturally carved stairs into the floor of the cavern. That kind of idea. And I suppose, and yeah, I always do cross hatching because whenever I'm cross hatching and dotting, like I do stippling around the cavernous parts, but I do cross hatching around the structures. I like to kind of brainstorm what I'm going to do. What do I want to put in here? What's the idea? What am I doing? And I suppose if I could come up with a scenario to use what the basic set does, where it says come up with a scenario. This one is probably it's the first one. Is probably the most common one. Exploration. Exploring the unknown. And going into these kind of areas and then just finding things. Players typically don't expect to find multiple structures within a cavern system, right? A small cavern system. And these places are going to interconnect on lower floors. They are technically speaking interconnected here too. So it's like having a mini dungeon up top, but it's going to be more sprawling underneath. And I'm going to come up with a plan for the chasm. If the characters decide to go spelunking down it, what floor does it take you to, and what's going to be down there. It's going to be a cool idea to come up with, but one that I'm going to come up with on basically on the fly. I'll probably be uh, I'll probably be random rolling on a lot of this stuff. Might GM Fiat a lot of rolls, come up with ideas. So I don't know what's in here yet, or here, or here. This one this was the first structure I made, so it's like I have a theme for it, sort of. And they're all going to kind of lower depths connect, like I said, with each other. Um, People ask about the artwork I do. Typically, I take a number 8 micron pen after I do sketch with a pencil, and then I do the big outlines and the thick walls and stuff like that, and then I take a number 5 and I do the features, the dressing and stuff like that, and I take a number 1 and I do the cross hatching and the stippling, and then I take a 005 and I do the grid, like to make it more pronounced and clear. Like I feel like it makes it pop better. But that's the more artistic direction. You don't have to do that. Uh, I've I've often just took, like, after inking everything, took a pencil and right around the edges so that it popped too. That's a quick and easy way to do it. Because at the end of the day, this is not about being an artist. This is about creating a playable map. That's what you should focus on, is make a playable map, one that's easy for you as the GM to narrate to the players during gameplay, one that is, don't get me wrong, put some difficulty in it, because mapping should be an aspect of exploration for your players. So, like, you can make a map that throws them off a little bit. Hence the caverns. The caverns kind of make things a little odd because they're oblongish shaped, whereas this these structures would be easier to narrate, right? So just kind of keep them on their toes and stuff like that. Um, but point being, have a playable map for your group. So I mean, there you go. Like, you don't have to go through all this. I just do it because I feel like it, and I'm not an artist. Um, so, like, I'm a musician. as far as my creativity is concerned. So, just however, whatever works, just, just some ideas. Um, Typically, I do, and I covered this on a past video of starting with a monster layer and then building around the monster layer. Well, how about we take some dungeons and then build dungeons around the dungeons, right? Like that seems like that's always a cool idea to me. So, and like I said, like you could definitely see where things get shaky bakey. I feel like this is probably the worst that I do on these maps and stuff like that. But the point being, then my stalagmites and stalactites don't look too great either. But you know, the point being, have something playable and ready for your player characters. So, uh, and then like, don't be afraid to put like stuff outside the structure that connects to the structure in some way. Like this. This is not typically going to connect to the lower floor like this one is. This takes you to an upper floor. This one takes you to a lower floor. So play around with that. Play around with sizes. These are two small statues. Here's a big statue. So there you go. Like just kind of play around, and that statue is on a dais. So um, just kind of play around with the ideas. Um, really, that's all I feel like needs to be said. So, as always, guys, take care. God bless. I'll see you on the other side.